Hey guys, it's Christian. We appreciate all of our listeners that you wouldn't get it, but I'm talking to the guys right now. Here's my question. Are you a man who is still using traditional shampoo or a bar of soap to take care of your skin? If so, why? This can lead to damaged and dried out skin in the long term, and no one wants that. What you need to do is go check out Alpha Groom now. What is Alpha Groom, you may ask? It is a skincare product made for men that effectively cleanses, exfoliates, and moisturizes your skin. This simple 3-step skincare product made with natural and organic ingredients will help you to combat acne and control oily skin. This product will help you to become the best version of yourself and display a confidence you didn't know you had in you. Jesse James West, the co-founder of Alpha Groom, was nice enough to offer our listeners a 10% discount by using the code PODCAST when purchasing your product. That is podcast in all caps. So, what are you waiting for? Go to alphagroom.co and check out the skin and oil control kit now. We only have one body and one life to live, so why not look good living?
Jesse, we're going to start chronologically because we're professionals over here.
Oh, yes.
So, walk us through high school. You started out playing some lacrosse, right?
Yeah, was
Okay.
quite the lacrosse player for many years.
Heck yeah. Good to hear. So, what was the decision kind of behind your transitioning from lacrosse to you've really bought into this passion of creating content and bodybuilding there? So walk us through that time period there because both of us being student athletes, we know that that's a big commitment you work towards for a long time, and to be able to kind of push that to the side and really go after your dream, that's amazing. So take us
Thank you,
through
bro.
that process there.
Yeah, I mean, it always was in me that I wanted to do social media and I wanted to do content creation. I love any form of like entertainment, whether it was, being the MC at a talent show when I was a little kid, like that like started that like that experience of having people, cheer you on and inspire people and stuff, and then just moving into sports and kind of taking that entertainment aspect on the field. I feel like I never played like just normal. I always played it with a little pizzazz just because it was more fun. And people always were like, dude, you're very entertaining to watch in the field. And that kind of sparked me to be into social media a little more. And
Sure.
then it just kind of transcended that way and just did it more and more. Started out with just a lacrosse channel. And as that grew, and then I got into fitness and really fell in love with bodybuilding and working on myself. I really enjoy the individual aspect of sports where you could just really like hone in your craft and get really good at it. So when I could just work on myself and just focus on lifting every day and getting my calories in and then sharing that experience on the internet, especially once I got to like 16, 17, I know so much. I thought I knew so much. I know a lot
Right.
more now, but I knew enough to where I could help people, and I wanted to teach everyone else what I wish I knew. Because there were so many little things that I was like, damn, I wish I knew like all these things when I first started, because I would have had a jump start in progress, like eating more calories right away, hitting doubles, not double session, hitting muscles twice a week, and that sort of aspect of things. So I figured, let's take it to the internet, let's try. People like Christian Guzman really inspired that for me, and I saw that, and I just knew it's something I wanted, and I'm very grateful that it all worked out in the end, and I'm here where I am.
Right.
And if I would say if I wasn't an athlete to begin with, I wouldn't be in the position I am. So I always am so grateful for all the sports and stuff.
No, absolutely. There's great takeaways from it. What was that transition like? Because for us, and Christian's doing his own thing now with some modeling stuff. The bodybuilding side of it is much different style of training than the athletic side, correct?
Oh
What were
yeah.
the biggest differences there that you had to sort of shift to in order to start transforming your body into what you wanted it to be?
Yeah, and that's a great point. I don't think a lot of people realize that when you train at college, when you train with high school teams, it's so different than when like bodybuilding. Because
Oh
bodybuilding is
yeah.
all about, like have perfect form, hypertrophy training, 10 to 12 reps, feel the burn, get a pump.
Yeah.
And athlete training is complete opposite. It's literally just movements that you want to get better at that are
Mhm.
going to bring into like sprinting faster. Like it doesn't even
Yes.
matter how you look as an athlete as long as you're performing proper. And I never liked that. I'll be honest, I hated team lifts. Not that the team atmosphere was sick, but the lifts I hated just because like I don't want to do cleans. I don't care
Yeah,
about my like yeah, it will help me on the field, but so will squatting 400 pounds. So why can't I just squat? But I guess
absolutely.
you break it down. Yeah, it does like the hip power and the explosion and everything. It definitely helps. But I always found that bodybuilding training, I think putting on the size from bodybuilding helped me more than any sort of athlete training because
Really.
it transformed my play style. I got really physical by the time I was a senior in high school and a freshman in college, where my main thing, like I'm quick, I'm not fast for long. Like I'll beat you on a one step rather than beating you on 10.
Right.
So for me, it was like get that one step and then be able to use my body to my advantage. So if I was 160 pounds, I couldn't do that, you
Right.
know. But I bodybuilded up to like 190 in college, 195, and just like could bulldoze instead of anything else, and that makes a huge difference.
Well, it's funny you say that because you're so right about that. So recently, since I graduated in May, I've taken a lot more focus into the bodybuilding aspects of things.
Mhm.
And I think back to when we were doing team lifts and stuff, and we're just there, and you're trying to bench, and you're getting everything into it. You got your back arched up, your legs
Oh
way
yeah,
up, and yeah, you're just trying to put up these huge numbers. But once you really get down to it, once you realize that the bodybuilding aspect, really getting the range of motion, stuff like that, is much more useful. And for me, also, it was just interesting because I was playing around 200, 205. And since I've been done playing, I've dropped like 20 or so pounds. And you see the difference. And so, one thing I'd be curious to ask you, have you ever done like a true bulk in that sense? And do you think it's more beneficial than just a main gaining or a clean bulk? Because a lot of people say, like, oh, get up to whatever, put 20
yeah.
pounds on of just
I
going at it hard. But
I used to
yeah.
bulk so heavy. Like when I first began my lifting career, it was a bulk just because I wanted any weight on my body. I was like, I'm too skinny. I'm 150 pounds. I just lost 10 pounds from the season. I'll do anything. I'm gonna eat everything humanly possible. So I jumped like straight to 3,500 calories. Honestly, that's a bulk for me right now, and I'm 30 pounds heavier than what I was. So
Mhm.
like that was nuts.
Yeah.
And I probably was underestimating eating more. But and as you get like more into it, you weigh your food and all that stuff. You get crazy with
No,
it. But
oh,
I think I let's say that was my lean bulk because I didn't slap on any fat that much because I already had a slightly higher body fat than like what I have now because I'm a lot
mhm.
leaner. But that was like my lean bulk up to 17. 17 about 19, I was like heavy bulking, like 4,600 calories.
Wow.
Unbelievable amount of calories. I don't know how I wasn't obese, but
Yeah.
I knew, I'm
That's
not kidding.
hilarious.
When I got to 200 pounds, I was snoring. I don't snore.
Yeah.
And I was always so hot. It was like literally signs of like getting fat,
Yeah, yeah,
Literally. I was like, what's going on? My roommate's like, dude, you snore a ton. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Uh,
Never
I was
snored
like,
in my
that's
life.
the wrong
Yeah.
that's the wrong guy. I don't know who's sleeping in the bed across from you. But I then decided, you know what, screw this. I want to be leaner. I built so much muscle and strength. I was strong as hell when I was 200 pounds, but
Mhm.
and as an athlete, that was my peak of lacrosse. Like I was way better at
Yeah.
lacrosse when I was 200 pounds because I was the type of person that was very. You couldn't take the ball from me unless there was like three of you. So if I was heavier, like and I can get through the three, I'm fine. But um, yeah, I think dirty bulking. If you're an athlete, if it's not going to slow you down and you're going to have a better performance, it's not a bad thing because being heavier can really benefit you. But
Mhm.
in terms of just bodybuilding and looking good and like aesthetics, it's not necessary at all. I truly think that you can just like slightly lean bulk, get stronger, just get good pumps, hypertrophy training. It just takes time because your body's going to respond in the first few years just to literally anything. Like now
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I feel like I really am not growing at all. I just kind of
Mhm.
train because I enjoy it, and if I don't
Yeah.
train that much, I look the same, and if I train a shit ton, I look the same. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm like so I'm not even that. Now I'm probably my least strict on training than I ever been, just because so much content creation. I work out like 4 days a week, and then some days I film, and sometimes I get a great workout while I film, and then sometimes I'm too focused on filming that I don't train hard enough or something like that. So a lot of people don't even
Mhm.
realize that they think I'm just going crazy all the time. But sometimes I get really like weak workouts, you know?
Well,
Well,
and it's earned too. I mean, like you get to that place and you can now stay there somewhat comfortably
Yep.
because of the work you've put in. And that kind of brings me to the next thing I wanted to get to is the amount of work that goes into this. So a lot of people just see the side of you that's kind of on the videos, doing workouts, having fun. They think
yeah.
this is just super easy, cruise through it lifestyle. I know for a fact that's not true, but kind of walk us through a day there because, man, the content creation side of thing is an MF. Like that is no joke.
Yeah.
You've got to put a lot of time into it. You almost have to obsess with it at times,
Yeah,
I would
I
guess
do.
at least.
Yeah. So I I have a very addictive personality. I was addicted to bodybuilding. I would say now I just do it because it's part of my job and I enjoy it. But growing up, I was addicted to getting better at lacrosse and lifting. Like I don't care how tired I was never missing a lift. I was never missing reps, practice, whatever. Um, like in college, I worked out like 12 times a week. In
Oh
like
my
6 days,
gosh.
I basically double session every single day. I don't know how I didn't like die, but I was just so obsessed with it. And then because that like when I see progress for me, it's like numbers. If I see like a number go up, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, that's some good
Just
stuff.
gonna
Like,
keep going.
I put on a pound. Shit, I dropped a
Yeah.
pound. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
gained 5 pounds on my bench. Oh my gosh, scored an extra goal, dude. I like love that stuff. So it just became this like relentless addiction, and that's why like I have like that my relentless tattoo, and that's like my saying, stay relentless, because I think you have to just never stop. And it just kind of led me down the road of just work, 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 work. And now I'm addicted to work. I just can't not. I'll dig the only way I'm gonna like dig myself a grave is through working too much, literally. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm a hustler, but I just do a lot. I just like doing a lot. When I'm not doing a lot, it gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
So I feel off when I'm like if I have nothing to do for a day, like I genuinely would just be depressed that day. I can't deal with it. I'd rather suck it up and like not want to film and film a video than just sit there and do nothing, because that's honestly worse.
So
Not a
Um,
yeah,
bad
this is
character trait
very
to
yeah.
interesting to me just because I feel like I relate to that in a lot of ways. And at times I like tell myself you need to chill out, man, just relax, be in the
Yeah.
present. But I feel like I get so focused on thinking about the future, and I'm not trying to make this like some philosophical talk.
No,
But it's interesting that
make it a
you also
philosophical
say
talk.
that. Why not? But so something that's interesting to me is you've got this like larger than life charismatic personality when you're making these videos. Is this something that you've kind of always had, or is this something you had to develop, get comfortable with being in public, being at the gyms, doing these things with everyone around you?
I definitely had to get comfortable with it, but I would say even literally everyone I hang out with, they know that that's real. And like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm literally just I'm over the top. Everything I'm over the top with. Whether if I like most YouTubers are like, oh, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna make 2 videos a week. I'm like, no, I'm doing three, and they're all gonna be 20 minutes long, and they're gonna
Yeah.
take way too long to make, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And then like everything, um, it just I think that my personality is just do whatever I am. I for some reason do more, or I if I'm energetic, I'm like way too energetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that I had to get comfortable with it, as in not feel insecure for being over the top or super smiley and energetic and stuff. Now that I have a platform that allows me and they follow me because of this, I have no sense of, ooh, someone's looking at me. I like I'm dancing in the gym. Someone thinks I'm weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't care. If you want to, like, I feel like it made me grow up, like the whole YouTube thing of just being yourself way quicker than most people. Like, I know some people that are just insecure about being who they are. I'm like, dude, no one actually really gives a shit.
Yeah.
No, like they don't. And if they do,
No one.
they literally hate on everyone. So
Absolutely.
I
And
just truly think that if you can be yourself, it's such an amazing life to live.
yes, absolutely. And I think that that relatability is what has probably helped your career so much because being someone that, on the side of college baseball, I worked part-time as a personal trainer. Step one is just getting those people motivated in the first place to sign up when
Mhm.
they come through the door. And your content being so relatable has helped people immensely just because they can see that and it's fun for them. It's not you're
Mhm.
not in the camera yelling at them, pinch out another rep, get it going type of thing. It's you're having fun, but you're working hard. And that's the
Mhm.
environment that you have to create to get these people started in the first place. And that's why the following has come where it's at is because of the relatability there. So all the respect to you
Appreciate
there.
that. Thank you, man.
I guess working off of the last thing we are talking about, do you have any sorts of horror stories, awkward interview moments? Like, yeah, the Valentine's
Oh,
Day video we did. I was
yeah.
thinking through, like, there had to have been moments where he's going up to people and they're like, get out of here, man, and leave me
Yeah,
alone. Like,
no. Oh, bro, all the time. I mean, that's where you can't get discouraged. If you do, you just take a few minutes, let it settle, and realize it doesn't matter. Some people they're just kind of a-holes. They're just
Yeah.
gonna be that way. Like I'm not gonna name names, but there's people that I went up to and they're very known, and I'll talk to them, and it might be a genuine 30 seconds, and then afterwards it's kind of a screw you, and I'm like, wow, like I'm just trying to show love, and you're kind of stabbing me right there. Like, really, bro? Like, I'm not gonna hate on you, but if you're gonna hate on me, you know what? So be it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I won't ask you for it another time. I don't know. People take things either too personal, or they just. My one friend, his name's Christian. I have a video coming out. He's a TikToker. Such an insightful, genuine guy, and he says haters are just this is what they're made up of. The reason they're hating is because they are jealous haters. This is what they're made up of. They love what you do, but they hate that it's not them.
Mm.
It's literally it's like I was like, bro,
Drop
that
it.
is
Yeah.
genius. Because I mean, it makes so much sense. If someone's really jealous about something and they're like, oh, screw this guy, like, why is he doing this? Why is he fucking acting this way? Like, most likely they're looking at what you're doing, like, damn, like I wish I had that opportunity. I deserve that opportunity. Why is that not me? How come he got it? But really, and they don't realize. I don't know. I worked hard for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe instead of hating on someone, you look at it as inspiration.
Right,
I don't know.
exactly.
I never could comprehend how people are haters because I'm not someone that's like that. I either am just indifferent and I'm like, "Oh, I don't really care, or I'm supportive, you know? And some people just can't, they just can't do that. They have to
Yeah.
hate. I'm like, dude, you're living life like it's a miserable life to live.
I mean, that's evident in you can go the YouTube comments right there and just see how many people are willing to put themselves out there and openly, like you said, hate on your content when they took the time in the first place to go to that video and watch that video. So, where are they to come from and say that? Going off of that, this has been one that from people, of your caliber have been indifferent about. Do you look at the comments at all? Are you a comments guy or do you completely disregard them? Don't pay attention to them.
First 30 minutes and then no more. When I
yeah,
post a video or an Instagram post, first 30 minutes, I respond to everyone.
Okay.
But then after that, I don't look at it because I find first 30 minutes is everyone that's subscribed and has notifications. Maybe there's a few hate comments, but it's so flooded with love that I just want
Oh,
to be like, hey man, thank you, appreciate you. Ask them how their day is. Get a little conversation flowing because those are the people that are truly supporting me. So I want to give back to them and be like thanking to them. And same with DMs. I try to get to as many DMs as I can, just quick responses. Try to get just thanking them for the opportunity, like because I'm in the position I am because people support me. So, and it's important to always keep that in mind because
hmm
people can just be like, oh no, I worked hard and I got this. But like, yeah, you work hard, you get this. But if you don't visually say thank you or verbally say thank you to someone for like my career, if there's no viewers, I have no career. So without them, I don't have a career. So I'm always trying to be like thankful for it, and I am. But I think reading comments post 30 minutes is like dangerous. I've read them and it'll get to me. It doesn't
yeah,
matter who the hell I'm so confident in life. Like I'll approach anyone, no question. I'm not nervous at all. Super social person, can deal with that. It can deal with hate in real life very easily. For there's something about like seeing a repetitive comment that like multiple haters just want to dig,
yeah,
and it'll just screw your day up. You're like, bro, like is that maybe they're right? Maybe that's true. Maybe I am. maybe I am doing this too much, or maybe I am saying weird things. And it's like,
Right.
do I need to stop? Do I need to change what I'm doing? But like in reality, there's 1,000 love to like 3 hate. Like
Yeah.
why?
Mhm.
But the 3 hate, they stand out.
Yep. They
And
get stuck in there.
I think these people comment not thinking I'm gonna see it. They're like, he's not even gonna read it. I just want to hate. Like he
Absolutely.
has too many followers to see this comment. But like, bro, Justin Bieber sees your DM. Every single person reads their DM. It's like telling someone, "Hey, don't turn around." You're like, "Okay, I want to turn around. What's behind me?" You know?
Not to put you on the
Absolutely.
spot, but have you ever had a little back and forth with one of those people, or do you completely refrain from it?
Uh, it was the I always try to kill them with kindness. Like they're
It's a
like,
great
"Bro,
approach.
bro, you're so cringy." I'm like, "Oh, you must have not have seen the video. Definitely check it out. It's a great one." Because like people literally, that's my number one thing. People call me cringy, but they don't realize like, okay, I get it. The thumbnail could be like somewhat cringy. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I know how to thumbnail things to bring in the most people,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
you watch the video and you're like, oh, it wasn't cringy at all. Oh wow. But like those people that comment, oh my god, it's cringy. I'm like, you clearly didn't watch the video,
As is the case usually.
bro.
And that goes back to like the hating idea because that is, and that's something that I think about even just watching your videos, watching other videos, this stigma that comes at these people, like the idea of cringiness. It's honestly just confidence. It's the confidence that you show.
Bro.
You don't care if it's cringe or whatever these people call it. You're just out there and you're doing your thing. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about this because you went from the East Coast to LA. That's
Hmm.
that's a big that's a big change right there. That's a lot. That's a culture shock because
Yeah.
LA can have this stigma that people are out for themselves. They're not really. They just want to better their own career. What has your impression been early on that?
So it's been majority of it's been great. There's been a little like, okay, this is so LA. Like people that live here and that are pretty big, you're like, okay, you're literally LA definition. Out for yourself, don't really care, but everyone in the area knows it. It's not like I'm the only person
Uh-huh.
that realized this. It's like the whole gym knows you don't go up to that person because they're dick, you know? But at the end of the day, you just go find the people that are good to be around. That's why I always just try to surround myself with only good people. And I don't have time for the BS of drama and stuff. Like, people will try to start drama with me, and I'm like, I didn't even do anything. Why are you like? I haven't
Leave
spoke
me
to
out of
you.
this.
I haven't even
Yeah.
spoke to you in like 3 weeks. And the last time I spoke to you, I said like, "Yo, you look great." And then now you're trying to like start beef. I don't have time for beef. Please leave me alone.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So make it known. We're making your statement right now. You're not a beef guy. You're staying out
Oh,
of that. You're
yep.
staying out of the drama. Love that. Love
Yeah.
that.
I have no intention of drama.
All right. And so you mentioned Christian Guzman earlier also. Do you
Mhm.
have other guys that influence you even earlier on that drew you to the fitness industry or even now or things you've learned recently since getting to LA that have really stuck out to you?
Um, as far as creators that I either aspired to be like or watched consistently, the people that I watched consistently for years has been Christian Guzman, Max Tuning. He has a very creative mind and he's very smart. So I always like to kind of look at. I'm like, what is he doing, and like maybe why is he doing it that way? And there's a reason that everyone does everything. So it's important. I like to look at things and really analyze. I'm very analytical, and I feel there isn't just one creator that I'm like, that is the reason I do what I do. But little bits and pieces of everything. I think that I have a little bit of vibe of the mainstream, Logan Paul, David Dobrik. I try to bring in some of that vibe of the intensity, up pace, super fun, everyone's laughing, and then bring in the fitness industry. And then bring in kind of the public interview prankiness all into like this one dish and mix it up.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like
I
a
feel that
master creation.
exactly. I feel that there's holes to be filled in all industries, and if you can spot them and then shoot and dive into the hole, like you're probably going to do pretty well. There was a huge hole during the quarantine of fitness content creation. There was literally none. Everyone stopped posting except like Will Tennyson and like Greg Doucette.
Yeah.
Like literally. Um, so I was like, all right, I gotta hit the ground running right now. I'm gonna go 3 posts a week, all fitness. I'm gonna stop doing lacrosse stuff. I really didn't want to make lacrosse videos, and then I just went for it. And I definitely saw. So short answer, a lot of people have inspired me, and I feel like I take a little bits of traits of everything. But I feel like now I have a good grasp of where I want to go with my content, and I can kind of take some inspiration of a little bit of everyone, but just bring it in for myself now, and kind of just go from there.
Yeah, and that analytical mind, I think, is a good way to go about it because a lot of people get comfortable where they're at and want to just sort of ride that wave through. Where, like you said, there's always holes to be filled. So,
Mm.
especially in the fitness industry, recognizing what those are and being able to go after them, that's how you take that next step and advance through those levels there. So, yeah, I mean, as with everything, you just can't get too comfortable with
Yep.
what you're doing and always be looking for whatever the next opportunity is.
And you can see when people get comfortable. It's so easy to see.
100%.
Like you're just looking at the content. I'm like, okay, so you're not trying anymore. You don't really care about your videos. Your views are going down because of it. And I don't know. I hate seeing people waste opportunity, man. It that's the one. That's why I like my why is because I've seen so many people waste opportunity, and I've always hated that. Like in sports, I hated when people were good enough and could be great and just didn't like give a shit. And I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
and I get it. Like you might not want to, but I hate wasted potential.
Yep.
It like bothers me a lot. So I knew I had this potential that could be skyrocketed, and I'm happy that it somewhat did up to a point. I'm not where I want to be, but I know I'll get there. I saw so many people. They grow on social media, and then they're like, "Oh, dude, we're chilling. Like we just made it to the top." I'm like, dude, you don't even have a YouTube going. All you're doing is posting freaking like these like sus photos. Not to be like that, but like they're just like posing in their underwear. I'm like, dude, you could be doing so much, and you're
Mhm.
not. You could be starting a business. You could have training programs, but they're not. They just choose not to because they're too comfortable, and that's why I really like to surround myself that people that are like overachievers, because when you're an overachiever, you're never satisfied.
Yep.
You're always going to be, shooting for more and more and more. And I think it's an awesome journey to go on. I think an important thing to realize is that a lot of people think that, living a good life is, they want to live the chill life. They want to go have fun with their friends. And that's the good life. But essentially, I think it's kind of the other way around where if you're busy and you're grinding and you're working for something, it's so much more. There's so much there's so much more in that aspect of life than just going out and like partying. So I mean, I know it's like a big tangent, but I think life really
Yep.
begins when you're like challenging yourself.
Yes. 100%. All right. We did have a couple little lighthearted questions here for you.
Let's hear it.
So, I know you're big on the food and you've gotten a little creative with some things before. So there was one thing I wanted to ask you if you could remaster one dessert indulgence food to turn into some sort of health food, whether it be, adding the protein, anabolic, whatever, what would you go after there? You
Tortilla
can
chips. Done. Tortilla chips. Mexican restaurant or authentic fried
Yeah.
tortilla chips. Something about their literal crack. They are so good. If they could be
so
low
you
oh
thought
my
about this.
god.
You
Yes.
thought
Yeah,
about
yeah, you
this.
there you
It's
go.
oh bro. Like chips? Oh my
And
god.
what's the first step to making that happen? I don't even
I
know.
have no idea.
Just
I have
Yeah.
straight
no idea.
carbs.
If you figure
Um,
that out, lock that away and get a patent
Oh,
right
seriously,
away.
now I'm like really
seriously.
hungry.
Yeah.
And then okay, one more for you.
Huh?
So obviously everyone's got their kind of their music style when they're at the gym. Do you have one song or a genre? If you were to shuffle your playlist right now, what's coming up? What are you
Okay.
bumping to?
I don't know if you see that. There's a poster right there. It's falling in reverse. That's the band.
Okay.
And literally anything falling in reverse, I'm freaking. And it's like it's not even like it's not EDM. It's not. It's actually like either hard rock or just straight rock and maybe
Yeah.
like punk rock in a way. It's like
Yeah.
it's the emo scene kids that would gather together and headbang. That's the shit I love.
You can't go wrong with that, man.
And and he just dropped a new song today, and it's a straight banger.
Okay, so what falling in reverse? Is it one
Falling,
guy or is it a group or
it's a band, but essentially it's been one the lead singer is the one guy that like
okay.
is like the guy.
So are
All
you the
right.
guy that if you're at the gym and they've got, the tunes blaring, if it's not what you're looking for, headphones going in, or are you just
Headphones.
riding it?
I work out a
Respect.
lot without headphones because I'm filming and I want to talk, and it's kind of like these are noise canceling, so I'm on off on off. But lately, I've been loving the headphone vibes and just blasting my own music, and it's great. And less people will come up to you, and not that I'm deterring anyone to come up to me, but they don't even know who I am, and they just want to like talk.
Yeah.
But I'm in a rush, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta finish my workout. Because they just want to talk, but it's not even like a quick talk. It's like 30 minutes. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love you, but I can't.
All right. And then last thing here, and then we'll let you go. Your product, Alpha Groom.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have dabbled with whether it's supplements, skincare, whatever, making their own product. You did it. You actually went and did it. What was that process like, and how hard was it to fully develop something that's, going under your name and you're promoting it as your product? Because there's a level there where you want the product to be good, right? Because it's under your image.
Yeah.
So walk us through that process.
So I worked on it with my co-founder, TJ Rakowski. I went to school with him. I went to Lehigh first, in my first semester, and he was my dorm room neighbor. He was on the football team. He calls me in August. He's like, "Dude, congrats on the success so far." We were like become very like best friends at school. But then I transferred, so I didn't speak to him for a while. And he calls me and he kind of has the idea of, like there's this hole to be filled, like I say, in the men's skincare or something. And he's tossing different ideas, and I'm like, dude, I think I can really get behind this because I don't eat dairy strictly because it gives me acne, and I haven't
Mhm.
eaten dairy in like 6 years, and everyone thinks I'm crazy, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to eat dairy. I want clear skin. I feel very insecure when I have acne. Like my problem spot's my nose. And throughout high school, I didn't really know this about the whole dairy thing for at least like a year. So like I'd be walking on the other side of the hallway, all like covered up, hood on, just trying to. I'd be walking on the opposite side just because that the zit is on this side and the wall's here, and I want to not be seen.
We've
And
been
that,
there. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like a super uncomfortable feeling, and I figured I was like, dude, I can really get behind this. Let's make it awesome. Let's make it aesthetic. Let's get people behind the message, and try to just inspire people to really start changing their life. This might be a first step they take. And the product's great. I use it daily. My favorite thing about it is the moisturizer. Literally just some nice butter on your skin.
Mhm.
Beauty. And you just feel great with it. So like I tell people, I'm like, just try it. Just try it. It's good, And it's only gonna get better. So that's the
So
best part.
so he helped you develop this product, or did he kind of just spearhead part of the idea that led you to sort
So
of
yeah.
attack this opportunity?
So I mean, he had the first initial idea, and I was like, okay. Then we started spitballing ideas, names, logos. I kind of had this image in my head. I was like, I want to somehow make it really. We both knew we wanted masculine, and I told him I was like, we got to go all black. Like, I don't want to make any products that aren't all black. All black's sick. And then I told him I wanted to kind of, if you look at it, to almost feel like a race car in a way. And if you look at the logo, you kind of get that from the AG. It's
Yeah.
almost like, and as like race cars are just like masculine. They're fast. They're dope, and it's just like pure speed, baby. Like, where are my
Oh yeah.
sunglasses? Pure
Your
speed,
speed.
baby. Um, and then we just went back and forth, manufacturers, finding the process, and lots of Zoom calls and stuff, and getting the ingredients, doing a ton of research, and luckily, his mom, it works within like beauty products, so she knew a lot about ingredients. So she was able to help us, and then we kind of like developed a business plan, who we're going to reach out to. We knew I had a little bit more power of getting social influencers involved, and I manage like more social side and brand image and getting influencers involved, and now he managed more of the communication with manufacturers and getting in production and stuff. So it was really cool just to kind of go in with. They always say like be careful going in friends and family, but to be honest, I only work with friends and family. I don't like
Yeah.
working with anyone else because I'm like, dude, I just can't trust people. Like I've been screwed over, and I'm not getting screwed over again, so I just can't trust you. Sorry. Don't take it personal. You know, so many people take it so freaking personal. It's ridiculous. I'm like, it's not you. Your work just it doesn't work. I can't work with your work. And you know, you have to be cutthroat with business, and it's difficult. It's uncomfortable, but you have to. So when you're with a friend, it might be awkward the first time. You're like, bro, you got to do more. You're not doing enough. You're not pulling your weight, or I need you to give me your opinion more. We got to have more calls. But like once you get past that, it's so open because they're friends or your family, and it's just straight up, yo, you got to call more. Period. Like, and I'm like, okay, done. Like I know I'm busy, but does tomorrow at noon work? You know, like, you just got to get it done. And this whole process, it took a while, and the last finishing like touches on everything was what took the longest. Getting it like in production and getting like ingredients approved and trying it was like a month, maybe 2 months, and then there was like 4 months of this finalizing process of, you know, business licenses, LLC, all these little things, and that's where my buddy was able to like handle a lot of that because that's like stuff I have no idea how to do, and I'm learning, but like he was able to he had the time to research and do all that during like winter break, and that helped a ton. But yeah, really grateful for him and you know the ideas that he brought to me, and then we're just bringing it to life, and we're gonna build it. My goal is to build it bigger than me. I want people to be like, oh, Alpha Group, and then know that it's mine. I don't want them to only know it because of me.
Right.
So now we gotta branch out, get the name out, you know.
And which is awesome. And again, I wish I could say it 100 times over, but this idea that content creators live this simple, easy 50-minute workday life is so far from the truth there. And just for you to speak on how dynamic you have to be, you know, you kind of have to be a master of all crafts, really. You got to know some stuff on the business side, the editing side, the media side. There's so many different, you know, aspects within the game that you have to understand. So thank you for shining some light on that, because that is one of the
Thank you for
biggest
saying that, man.
misconceptions I think that is out there right now with that side of media.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, Jesse James West, we'll let you go, man. But hey, congratulations. You're going to be at 300,000 subscribers here pretty soon by the time this episode comes out. But this
I think
was
in like
awesome,
a day or
man.
two. Crazy.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
this
I
was
really
awesome.
appreciate this.
Oh, no problem. Thank
Absolutely,
you,
man.
man. It was great to talk to you, and best of luck with everything. I think that opportunistic mindset is going to take you a long way, and hopefully some other people can learn from it as well. So,
Oh yeah. Thank you, brother.
awesome.
Appreciate you,
All
boys.
right, man.
That was legitness.